Hi, it's Miles Red Songbird in New York City. I'm going to tell you a story, and I'm going to be talking about my mother. And this is my mother now. This is my granddaughter, Jindara Ransinger. I don't have a photograph of her when she was my mother. But she was a voracious reader when she was my mother, and she is a voracious reader now that she's my granddaughter. She was a poster child for Rosie the Riveter because she worked at International Harvester making airplane parts when the men were away at war. She's the picture. Her picture was this drawing was made from Jindara's picture. And this is Sneezy the Greasy Babysits Abigail. This is a great Christmas book. You can get your grandchildren. It's at Amazon.com. This is a video we did, Sneezy. And this is a babysitter, Nicole. And this is Jindara and her friend Fallon. And Lou Ransinger, who was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. This video is said to be the best family video on YouTube, and it's very short, so please check it out. It's called Sneezy the Greasy Babysits Abigail at Michelle Birdsong YouTube channel. Okay, and this is a picture of the better picture of Sneezy. Okay, I'm going to start reading the story to you now. It says, Mama Mill. My grandmother had been sexually molested by her father, Papa John Kendricks. Her mother, Sally Kendricks, we're talking about Jindara's when she was my mother, we're talking about her mother when she was my mother. Sally Kendricks had no clue, Sally Kendricks was my great-grandmother, had no clue as to how to survive without her husband's money and shelter. There was no provision by society at that time for a single mother. It was unthinkable. So she turned a blind eye to what her husband was doing to their little girl, and maybe to her other girl children. Eventually, her eyes became blind. Cataracts grew over her eyes. In India, 1st and 20th century Jesus Christ, Charan Singh Ji created an eye camp. He got one of the finest eye surgeons in the world to come to the eye camp and to volunteer his services because the eye camp was servicing the elderly poor in their community. In all the years of the eye camp, it was run so efficiently, not one cataract operation went badly. They were all successful. There is a documentary made about the eye camp. It's called the Dera Eye Camp. You can see for yourself what a miracle Jesus Christ, Charan Singh Ji, Santa Claus, 20th century, performed every year in the Punjab, India, inspired by his wife, Mrs. Santa, who was Mary, Jesus' wife in the 1st century, Eve, great-grandmother, Sally Kendricks. Did you follow that? Sally Kendricks, whose eyes grew blind because of cataracts, inspired Charan Singh to create the eye camp to help other elderly people who had cataracts and were blind. You see, they also gave them a free pair of eyeglasses at that eye camp when they left. So now when Sally Kendricks' little girl, Mildred Kendricks, grew up and had a baby out of wedlock, she gave her to Sister Donnie Wright, a missionary who had been Saint Francis of Assisi, and Brother Will Wright, who was a projection of Charan Singh Ji, and he'd been a contemporary of Charan Singh Ji, Jagat Singh Ji, Jesus Christ level of consciousness. Mildred believed the alcoholic brute she lived with, John Henry, would sexually abuse her pretty little girl, Frog. See, she's pretty this life, too. Corinne Beatrice Williams, a projection of Baba Jamal Singh Ji, Jesus Christ level of consciousness, a martyr, a masochist. No, a martyr mindset. Frog wanted more than anything to be with her mother. She lived across the... You following me? Her mother was afraid she'd be sexually abused, so she gave her to the rights. So she lived across the street on St. John Street. One day, 3-year-old Frog toddled across the street to be with her mother, Mildred, in her 2-room brown house. Her mother sent her right back across the street to Aunt Donnie and Brother Wright's larger white house. Frog became, in her mind, an unwanted child. She had no idea her mother was trying to protect her from child rape. When Frog grew up and had babies, she gave her a second child. She gave her second child a death sentence. She aborted her son. She was married to a colored Army officer, Lieutenant Kenneth Anderson. Now, this was during the World War II period, and there weren't many colored officers, so she thought she, had gotten a good catch. When she got pregnant a third time, Frog started with a midwife aborting her. But her ears rang like dinner bells as she described the sounds that came in her ears, the bells of St. Mary. The soul had indeed, the saint had been the Saint Guru Nanak, talking about the fetus in her womb, had been Guru Nanak, founder of Sikhism, Jesus Christ level of consciousness. She had also been Mary, the wife of Jesus Christ in the 1st century, and she was Eve, mother of the earth, mother of the heart. I'll show you what I did here. Mother of the earth, heart, here, T, he, ear, T, he, R-T, heaven, R, terrestrial. Eve was a terrestrial from the sun. So Frog got scared hearing those bells and stopped trying to abort her unwanted third child, Minnow. Sounds like Minnow. Minnow energy in kin hurt. Minnow energy in kin hurt. O-W for hurt. In ape kin. Minnow was taking a nap. Okay, before we go there, when Eve first came to the earth, she encountered an ape who hurt her very badly. He raped her, and she came to rescue him from his loneliness, and all he wanted was sex. And she had been in the heaven ocean of bliss, so she didn't really understand what he wanted, and so he just raped her and beat her. He was an animal. He didn't know how to treat a beam of light, So, anyway, in ape-kin, Minnow was taking a nap, and her kin, her sister, woke her. She was 3 years old, and told her to take off her pajama bottoms and get on top of her. Minnow was horrified. She wanted to be a good girl. She thought, now Minnow is Frog's daughter, okay? She thought, I'm trying to show you a pattern. Mama Sally let her daughter, Mildred, be abused. Then Mildred gave her daughter away to Angel and Brother Wright to prevent her being abused. Then her daughter, Frog, who had been given away, tried to kill her daughter. Okay, she didn't want her, as she hadn't been wanted. You see, it's just passing things down generation, like welfare, Your mother's on welfare, then the child's on welfare, and then they keep the pattern up. Alright, so, she thought, Minnow, the little girl who had just been asked to take down her panties and get on top of her, she thought, what if I do this and Mama walks in and sees me being bad? Her mind was in turmoil. She was 3 years old, remember. Her thoughts were racing, but in the end she obeyed her sister. She believed if she displeased her sister, her babysitter, she'd have no other child like herself to play with. So she martyred herself. She sacrificed herself, her value as a good girl, and became a bad girl for her authority figure, her sister, Helen. Hell entered Will. Hell entered Will. Entered Eve now. Inner hurt. Inner hurt. She's hurt inside. Now. Inner. In her order wound. She's wounded. In her wound ordered mild red. In her order mild red has been wounded. My pride was wounded. My self-respect gone. My respect for this is after she got on top of her, you see. My respect for my ability to take care of myself in the presence of danger to my way of being was gone. I knew I could not protect myself from hell, from temptation, from being coerced with implicit threat. I could no longer respect myself because I had been shown that I am powerless to stand against tyranny. Now this is 3-year-old thinking. But of course the words weren't the same. These were feelings. I'm explaining her feelings. I was terrified that my mother would come through that door and catch me being bad and know that I was bad. I had wanted my mother to know that I was good because I always did good. I always did what I should. I knew I shouldn't remove my pajamas and get my naked down there to touch her down there, my sister's down there. This act in my mind was disgusting. I found my sister disgusting for having me do it. She knew I could not say no. I didn't know when I learned I couldn't say no to Helen, letting hell into my body and mind and soul. When I made the decision and got on top of her, I disappeared. I went lower in consciousness so I wouldn't have to feel her skin as mine touched hers. Now, going lower in consciousness is going to the level of insanity. So I went crazy. Okay, when I got on top of her, I simply went lower in consciousness. I went insane. I went to another context. I left human context, human consciousness. Okay, I was going through the motions of experiencing, but I was not fully there. My feelings were not activated except to be at numb. Now you minnow bad. Now you minnow bad. Inner hurt. I owe you bad, minnow, because I hurt myself by allowing myself to be coerced, to be frightened into feeling bad. I owed myself punishment. Bad equals punishment. That's how the law of attraction works. So I found my power to do something. I could hurt myself. I became a martyr, a masochist, then and there. What was happening? See, I began a pattern of hurting myself. You see. When I couldn't protect myself, I just gave in and did the thing that hurt me. And because I was convinced, somebody had convinced me in my young life that I couldn't say no, you know. What was happening inside my consciousness was the people I'd been organized energies were fighting. Minnow, the one I was today. Who are you? Sang the Who. Double breath. See the hanging breath? Double breath. Hell ordered. E-A-R, ear. I owe you. You see how it worked out? Double breath. Hell ordered. Ear. I owe you. My hell began when I heard with my ear her ask, tell, order, command me to do something I didn't want to do, something I found disgusting. I found pee disgusting because it makes me cold and wet when it comes down out of my hole down my legs and into my bed and makes a mess. Okay, over here, when. Double breaths, hen. Then. The end. The end. Minnow. Energy secretly stinks. Oh, I thought that my vagina stank because one day my mother was bathing me. And she held her nose and she handed me the washcloth and said, wash possum. And I thought, oh, I stink. So, because I was a very serious maybe all children take everything to heart, but I took everything to heart. So I just, when she did that, I secretly thought I stink, because she didn't say you stink, but she showed me I stink by holding her nose. Terrestrial hell. Inner dimension. Sinner intervention. I intervened. Terrestrial. I was ordered in by my sympathies. This is what I was telling you before, that I heard from heaven someone crying for a companion, and I felt so sorry. My sympathies drove me to leave heaven and come to be with him. Turned out he was an ape who hurt me very badly for millions of years. See, I meet ape. See, I meet ape. Terrestrial cross his sex energy source. Cross into hell, into his sex energy source. Go back. Okay, I'm going to go back and tell you what I just told you, actually. In heaven, I was immersed in bliss, in the ocean of bliss, and I heard screams for somebody to come be with him. Song, all by myself, don't want to be all by myself, by piano player, singer, songwriter Eric Carmen. He nails ape's feelings. Feel energy enter. Will I. Energy I. Okay, the I means energy I enter. Okay, energy enters into the I. Get it? Okay. Sex. See energy unknown. See energy enter. When people make eye contact, they are having eye contact sex. Consciousness ordered in her cross act. Secret sex. Okay, decode this. In her conscious, her order, secret sex. Okay, when you have eye contact, your consciousness is connecting with the soul of the other, and the contact is called sex. Okay, I knew I could win because I was willing to hurt myself, to take pain. This is what I learned from having to take off my pajama bottoms and get on my sister when I didn't want to. Okay, so I could take pain because I didn't care anymore. I'd already been, this is as a result of what I went through. I'd already been shown the most painful thing, that you are nothing, that you are worth nothing to yourself. So if you are worth nothing, you have nothing to lose. Remember, my friend, somebody's got to lose. You can make it if you try. This is a song lyric. I didn't write it, but I heard it as a child. Don't go around singing the blues, because remember, my friend, everybody can't win. Somebody's got to lose. You can make it if you try. You're going to live on till you die. Oh, yeah. You can make it if you try. So as I've striven to make something of myself, now that I've done my duty and been a wife and a mother to the best of my ability, I can get egg on my face, whatever that means. I don't even eat eggs. I haven't eaten eggs since 1970. The point is, since I lost everything, lost self-respect, lost self-trust, lost self-love, that night in bed with my sister, Tin Man, C-T-I-N, the Tin Man, thought he didn't have a heart. Okay, terrestrial, I-sex, inner man. You are at tension. At tension. A double cross energy enters terrestrial. You see the double crosses? You see the two T's are crosses? Okay, two I's across from each other. I-sex, ordered in her inner. Let's see, I think I'm talking about Immaculate Conception. Let's just go on and see what I'm talking about. Ordered inner. Bublé, Michael Bublé says he's obsessed with his wife's insides. Wife's insides, wife decoded. Woman double breasts, I-sex, feel, energy, source. Sin, she, I-sex, identity, energy source. Okay, she identifies herself as a sex energy. Sex, I, sex, inner. Sex, she, energy, unknown, inner. She self-identifies as a source for sex. Their relationship is fundamental. Sex is a basis for life, for creating life, having babies. Baba G, cis. See that? Baba G, cis. C-I-sex is real deal. Attention goes inside the eyes and touches each other. Souls. Saint touches. So that's what Baba G did. He went inside my eyes and touched my soul and impregnated me. And I have twins in me now. I was earlier feeling them kicking. So, that was I-sex. I call it I-sex. Excuse me. Sex is the basis for creating life. A happy marriage depends on having right understanding, honesty, and respect for self and for other. Bublé said he wants 12 children. Their marriage is to create children. Nothing personal. No love necessary, except at the level of conception when the sperm and the egg become one. Their relationship is strictly mechanical. He says he has passion for touring and singing. He loves music. What is music? Mild red. Us, I see. U.S., Earth. Hear this. Consciously. Us, I. Sex, conscious, sound. I, conscious, sound. Okay. Touches. Saint ouches. Saint touches. Sex, A-I, sex, in terrestrial. Saint, sex, A-N, terrestrial, A-N-gel, angel, evangel, Eve, an angel, evict, an angel, General Electric line, angle, generator, a will, a would, I will, a world, mild red, I will. That's a mistake. I thought that was R-E-D. That's R-L-D. Okay, a woman, double breast, ordered, mild red, Helen. Hell, energy, wills, energy, Nietzsche. Hell, Ellen, degenerate. Okay, I see what this is writing is explaining sex. Woman, double breast, orders, my bad. I sex, pretend. You see, I'm just getting what happened with me and my sister. Nobody, no thing went in. 10. You see, I'm realizing I didn't have sex with her. Nothing went into my eyes. I didn't have eye sex. And nothing went into my vagina. I didn't have, vaginal sex. Okay, so here we got 10 again. 10 men couldn't have gone in because 10 men wasn't a man who could get a hard dick. D-I-K, dyke, eye sex. She kicks. Oh, the kicks for dyke is to kiss because it can't have a hard dick to go in because you don't have no dick. Licks, and the kicks is licks. They lick each other. And finger flicks. They flick each other. That's the gist of lesbian sex. Not much to this. You see, that came when the writing was talking about Ellen DeGeneres. Oh, they're describing Ellen DeGeneres sex. Okay, lesbian. Decoded. Will, energy. She believes I sex and. She wills her energy to have sex with an angel because she believes sex without a heart is still having sex. Decode having sex. Heaven, avenue, I sex, inner good sex, energy unknown. Energy. That's unknown to lesbians. See? The avenue to heaven is I sex, inner, in her, another, ape ordered, mild red, terrestrial. Now we're back to when I came here in the beginning of creation. Territory established, terrestrial decoded. Territory established, saint, her. These lines are because I connect the letters. You see, saint, her, I sex trial, always. Okay, that's the kind of sex they have. Always sex. Sex all kind of ways. Sway, S-W-A-Y, sway. Michael Bublé has a song, Sway Me. Okay, she, woman, double breast, and ape, I, Anne, district attorney. Anne is a district attorney. Anne is an angel. Anne is Evangeline. Anne is Eve. Penetrate I. See what she's saying? The ape is saying that Anne, the DA, penetrated I, himself. Evangeline understands my one-of-a-kind mind. You see that? Okay, so that's more than mechanical sex to make babies. She actually loves him, and she understands him, and that's what it said. To have a happy marriage, you have to have right understanding. This is what the saint says. You have to have right understanding and respect. And this anda plane, this is the anda plane we're on. You heard of the astral plane? This is the anda plane. This is the last page. Sex test. When his hard dick enters her hole, he feels acceptable, and he feels he's good. He's of service and is acceptable, worthy of life, of his birth, of being on this earth. When his hard dick enters her hole, she receives him like a queen at court. She feels acceptable, desired, wanted, of value, needed, and when he comes in her, she feels mission accomplished. He squirted in her. He has come that she might have life experience and have it more abundantly. The homosexual does not want to give a woman anything real good, so he does not enter her black hole and fill it with life-breathing serum. He wastes it. He wastes himself for the bitter taste of revenge. Every time he has sex with another man, he's showing his mother she failed. He will not serve the womb in her, or if he does fuck some female, maybe even a wife, to make a baby, he'll soon be fucking butts again so he can feel like shit again. So he can go back to hurting her, his mother, by denying her the right to feel good about the kind of mother she was. Okay, that's the explanation for sex. Mild Red Songbird, I got through it all. Thank you, Baba G. I asked him to let me. I prayed and asked him to let me get through it. Okay, this is Mild Red Songbird in New York. I've given you a tremendous amount of information. Listen to the video again so you can get the information, because I've broken down what these different things we do are. Okay? Bye.